everyone. Is my mic actually working now? Testing, testing. Anyone? Can you hear me? Alright, just jumping into the voice chat here. Okay, test, test. Okay, it's working on YouTube. Can everyone on Discord hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Welcome back to the Severchain's Devstream. I don't have a co-host for this week, so tonight I hope you like uncomfortable silence punctuated by typing. In all seriousness though, I've got some major progress on the music to share. So one second, just gonna switch branches here.
Does it screw you up if you stream to Discord at the same time as YouTube?
No, it does not. I normally do that. One sec, I'm just gonna fire that up.
That makes it easier to follow along. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Alright, so the main menu music is still about the same, but I would like to introduce you to the #1 avant-garde band in Endiness. So this isn't great, but what I actually want to show off is the complete lack of bagpipes in Celeste.
I had to load up YouTube. I'm a little sad. I gotta be honest.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't hear the audio on Discord, can you?
Yeah, but I got it on YouTube. Although very impressive, I am sad that there's no backpack.
Yeah, it's definitely a little sad. So yeah, it's still pretty offbeat. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but it's working really well on songs that are mostly like mostly beat aligned, which Celeste is obviously. When you get into some of the more complex songs, like right here, you'll hear Helena, and you can really tell that that it's really offbeat, but. Much better. We're getting really close to perfect.
So, are they using just like some weird sound file type, or what did you find out with the audio?
Well, they're possibly using the weirdest sound file type, to be honest with you. Yeah, long story short, well, those file names are not very useful. I'm just going to go in through the folder here. Okay, so long story short, this is a Sony internal format used in only a few games. I think there was a total of like 5 games that used it, all during like the final days of the PS1's lifetime, and it's kind of kind of like a transitionary format between the PS1 and PS2. Um, I think it's kind of like an early draft of the PS2 sequenced audio format. Um, the PS1 format was based very, very heavily on MIDI. In fact, these SSSQ files, which are based on the PS1 format, that's based on MIDI, is almost like a one-to-one match with the MIDI format, which made it really easy to figure out what was going on there. But then they also use a combination of these other 2 files here for the custom instruments. And yeah, that's what Alepri and I have been working on for the past like 3 weeks or so. But we got them mostly mapped out. I've got a proof of concept that I was working on. That is unfortunately on my laptop. Let me see if I can scroll back far enough in Discord to find that. Please hold.
A funny story for you. Another time, I'm excited about how I got the COVID thing to work.
Yeah, go for it while I'm digging for this.
So I think we were trying to do WSL last time,
Yep.
which is my preferred dev environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched over to Windows, and Windows was fine, but I got kind of irritated with it. So I actually repartitioned my hard drive and put 100 gigs of space and downloaded Manjaro, the Arch-based Linux,
Yeah.
and just running directly off Linux to get my compromise of me being able to use Linux still, and then also having code with me. And it works great.
That's super weird. I wonder
Yeah.
why it wouldn't specifically work in WSL.
I think the way that IntelliJ is using WSL, it's like a local server client situation, so it's like taking up maybe it's like only got one way to do that. You know? I don't know, it seems silly, but
weird. Because yeah, I use PHP Storm in WSL, which is built on IntelliJ.
Right.
And yeah, it works. I mean, I've never used Code With Me, but yeah, it works perfectly. And it does have the Code With Me option, so.
Well, it could totally have just been me not knowing how to use it.
Well, I mean, like you sent a screenshot, and it just wasn't there, so.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, as far as WSL went, it was excellent. In fact, I think it was better than Code, as far as like it didn't seem jank at all.
Yeah.
But Windows 11 had all this like reserved hard drive space, so I had to do a bunch of setting switches to get my hard drive to actually shrink its partition enough to use it for another OS. But,
yeah.
and all a couple hours before I was supposed to be getting ready to go on a flight. So.
Oh yeah, of course. My 2G says 90s Sony. Let's make sure this is as convoluted as possible because fuck modders. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying before, like, the original PS1 format is based on MIDI. They didn't use MIDI because at the time it was very expensive to license. It's free now because it's MIDI. Like everyone uses it for their musical instruments. But yeah, at the time it was very expensive. So this was quote unquote based on MIDI. It's almost identical.
Legally dissimilar MIDI.
Yeah, exactly. it's legally not MIDI, TM. But
great.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they poached some people who wrote the original MIDI spec because like it's really similar. In fact, I can show you the what is it called? MIDI writer, I think, yes. So like this is the entire thing to convert the sequence files to MIDI. Like not counting spaces and comments, it's like less than 100 lines of code.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can Discord hear me?
Yeah, I still got you on Discord.
Okay. Alright, looks like it reconnected. Not really sure what happened there.
Yeah.
But I think we're all good. So yeah, the sound banks, on the other hand, are very, very different, and that's been what Elepri and I have been spending the bulk of our time on. And I have a very, very proof of concept recording that I'm going to play here. It sounds terrible, but it was never intended to sound good. This is a handmade sound font. So a sound font is kind of like a standard format, and you can play MIDIs using sound fonts. So like the standard MIDI sound font is what contains all the different samples and instruments and things like that. But you know, custom instruments will have their own sound fonts that have like special samples and instruments for specific things. So here's the extremely terrible sound font that I made for the Celeste sound. So I'm just going to play this. It should be audible on YouTube. Oh, whoops, that is not the right file. That is the actual recording that I made of in-game. My bad. Which begs the question, where's the actual file that I'm looking for? Ah, here it is. Okay. Prepare your ears. I said it was Celeste, but I lied.
That actually doesn't sound horrible.
Yeah, so that was made by hand, and the actual the root key between the sound font format and the PlayStation format don't seem to actually match up. So I was kind of just like wildly guessing at what key the instrument should be in. So yeah, it's pretty off key. I didn't put the loop points in. I didn't adjust the volumes or anything. Like I said, it was just like a wild proof of concept. But like there it is. That is the game's music for the very first time in like modern formats that are easily editable.
I mean, that sounds, it's not there yet, but it sounds way better than I thought it was going to sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like bagpipes, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we're getting really close here, and that's pretty cool. Doom says the video is locked for me. It did disconnect there for a minute, Doom. Is it still messed up for you? Okay, working now. All is right with the world. So, Baldur, I guess since I have got you here, why is my start menu stuck open? We might as well do a little bit more work on the testing stuff.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to do a dry run just to see if that code with me works?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, even if we don't do anything with it, just I've got IntelliJ open here, so.
Okay. Yeah, just DM me a join code.
Yep.
Okay. I gotta sync this branch back up.
You said edit files for permission, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have my git aliases set up properly. Okay, no conflicts, that's always nice. Okay, I'm just gonna drag a browser over to that window.
Just sync the upstream before we got on the call, so it should be current with whatever is on the main.
Okay. Okay, it is working by the looks of it. Ooh, it is really lagging my computer for some reason.
I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, so I don't know if that would have anything to do with it.
I think it's just the extraction that's doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you doing something at the bottom. Oh, okay. I can doing something now.
Yeah, security code 7183.
Oh, is that? I wonder if that's on my side too.
Yeah, I think you have
Yep.
to approve.
Yep, just okay. That was my bad.
Oops, I clicked on that twice. Hopefully that doesn't ruin everything.
You had trouble loading it once, so they're gonna load it twice.
Exactly.
I got another. You want me to accept that code too, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Said you joined and then left again.
Uh,
Oh no, now it says you joined.
yeah, okay, I think it's working. I think
Okay,
that's
cool.
just because I accidentally clicked on it twice and then
They probably aborted the first one.
connection timeout?
They have to just try again.
I am seeing upload and download happening.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I think you're in.
Yeah, I think it's working.
Yeah, try and run the test harness or something.
I don't think I can actually run anything here.
Oh,
It's
that's so
grayed
weird.
out.
Yeah, because I tested it. I ran it before the call too to make sure it runs on this, and it does. I guess I don't know how you would. Have you ever ran it remotely before?
Yeah, so I don't, by the looks of it, I don't think I can run things.
Oh, okay. So
So,
you can just see the code.
yeah, I think that's it. So maybe we will look at it on my end then.
Okay.
Do I have the test harness in this branch? No, I do not. Okay, so that branch that you've got there, you're working on that in a fork, right?
Yeah.
Your own fork of the repo.
Yep.
Can you pull request that to the main.menu states branch?
Main.menu states. Yep. Give me 1 second.
Alright, I was in the middle of doing some changes here. So yeah, I guess I will continue working on this. Okay, so
I wonder, the menu states, is that your updated, rewritten menu interface code?
sorry, what was that?
The menu states branch, has that got the new, like, you rewrote the menu interface?
It has the start of that. It's not
Okay.
quite done yet, but
I'm
yeah,
worried,
might as well work on that.
yeah, it uses keyboard, so it may not work. I don't know if it was just mouse input or not.
Oh, yes, yeah, it does have that.
Alright, well, it'll just launch the game then.
Yeah, well, the title screen does still work with keyboard, just up
Oh,
until
okay, it'll work
the,
then.
yeah. Okay, so what do we got here for menu states? This is, I don't want it to render and unload. Oh, of course. Okay. So I'll just, I'll finish doing this refactor here, and then we can test it out and maybe even start, start writing some automated tests.
Yeah, I've been trying to get in and doing some work this last couple of weeks, but this startup I've been working these like 14-hour days and times off
Yeah,
shift.
yeah, you've been away for a little while, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm flying back Saturday though, and I'll be back to normal.
Nice.
You know, a bunch of free time. In fact, I got more free time than I've had in the past, so I'm
Oh,
looking
nice.
like February would be a good month for test harness.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, this isn't going to be the most interesting stream for the start of it, but should be pretty cool once we actually get some automated tests running.
What are your thoughts on Sonar Cube? Is that worth the money for what we're doing?
Sonar Cube?
Yeah.
I have literally no idea what that is.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. It's like, it just kind of checks for kind of half-ass code. Gives you like, I don't know, it uses machine learning, I think, for suggestions.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into it. See how much it costs. It might be worth the. I mean, I'm already using Copilot because it just saves me time, but.
Welcome back, my 2G. Hey Chris, how's it going? Why do we have a 2 and a 3 here? Oh, right, this, there's two states. So this should be select main character and select secondary character. This has the added benefit of just being a lot more developer friendly anyway, rather than just being numbers. We've actually got a name to them.
I was literally just watching a video today about this exact naming convention. That's so crazy.
Yeah, a lot of this code I did just port like directly with
Right.
with minimal refactors, just like enough to get it working in this new the new setup. So it still needs a lot of work, but yeah, this makes it.
I can't imagine why. What was it, a couple hundred lines of code to get this game running?
Yeah, it's just a few. Took no time at all.
Well, I'm still convinced that you're a wizard, so that doesn't surprise me, actually.
My 2G says I should have the crash counter on standby this time. To be fair, that last stream, even though it had like 4 crashes, that was the first time. I think that was the very first time the game actually crashed on stream. Oh, aside from the time that I forced Drew to do the obstacle course. And I'm still not convinced that that Drew didn't do that on purpose.
Sounds like Drew to me.
Yep. Crashed the game so that they could practice in secret. Okay. Oh, look, I even left a couple of comments here. How nice of me.
The comments are only useful if you read them, though.
Right. How many times have I gone through not reading the comments that I clearly left for myself? Many.
And live on stream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Davos menu is still very wall of text. Okay.
What menu? You said Dabas? What menu is this?
Oh, have you not seen that? So the Japanese version of the game, you got very, very little gold in the Japanese version of the game. Your actual main source of gold was not intended to be in-game at all. Have you ever heard of the Pocket Station?
No, it sounds something very Japanese.
It is. It's basically a shitty Game Boy
Oh,
that
okay.
is a memory card.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Data. Data says the stream is very quiet, or my mic is low. I just moved the mic a bit. Is this any better?
It seems fine on the Discord side, and I don't know. I think it might have been quiet on YouTube. I don't remember.
Okay. Can you talk just for a second? I just want to compare. Talk while I'm talking. I just want to
Talk
compare the
while you're
levels.
talking like that.
Testing.
Testing.
Yeah. Okay. So they look about the same. Now that I moved the mic.
So maybe it was you. So am I coming through quiet then?
Judging by the level meters, it seems okay. Discord was good, but YouTube is fuzzy. What do you mean by fuzzy? Okay, I'll drop Balder down just a touch.
You think I'm clipping?
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that for now. Hopefully that is fine. So yeah, the way you were really intended to get gold was through this Pocket Station minigame, where you actually play as Davos, and it's like a digging game.
So glad I didn't make it into the American.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Are you planning on doing something like that in the remake, or just letting that one go?
I'm going to make the game playable in game, but it's not going to be like the way you get gold. Just as
Oh, that's
more of
cool.
like a preservation thing.
Yeah, it's like a mini game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, the menu is actually already available in the decomp, and if you have a save game from like the Pocket Station, you can actually like get the items and stuff that Davos picks up.
Okay.
I'm getting conflicting reports on mic quality. Some people are saying it's good, other people are saying it is muddy and a bit low.
I am using like a phone headset, with the mic on the wire. I don't have my full headset with me because I'm out of town.
It
So I wonder if that
actually sounds like your sounds fine to me. Like it's not bad at all.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take
Maybe we
a.
just need to pull together some resources and get you an actual interface for audio. So because just running off of a motherboard, that may be part of your problem.
Yeah, actually, I'm going through the. Well, I use an Xbox headset, so I'm going through the DAC on an Xbox controller.
Oh, okay. I wonder.
Which usually isn't too bad. The Xbox headsets are surprisingly good, but I mean it's definitely not like studio quality by any means.
Yeah, it's not a $200 streamer mic.
Yeah. um, Strangely enough, people are saying that it sounds fine on Discord, and it's just the YouTube stream.
Yeah, because you sound normal to me in Discord for sure.
I am trying to find audio settings here. Okay, audio bitrate is set to 160. I have no idea if that's good or bad, but I can't change it while I'm streaming, so it's going to stay like this until next time.
Yeah, I just listened to the YouTube. I can see what they're talking about. It is less quality than the Discord stream, that's for sure. But I mean, yeah, it sounds listenable. I think it'll do for this stream.
Alright, well, in that case, I'm not going to worry about it for now, and I'll just look into it after the stream.
If you need help doing some testing later, probably not today, but tomorrow, just hit me up. I can help you with that.
Cool, thanks, sounds good. Alright, back to this.
Does it distract you if I talk while you're doing this?
No, no, go for it.
So I just like I haven't had a chance to write any code, but I've been just thinking about as far as the idea of what I want to do.
Yep.
And I figure I get your input. So I'm thinking just getting some methods that are almost specific to one type of thing. So like checking game states. I'm just trying to get it to where when we write the actual test, we're just pulling in a bunch of. In Python, I would call them objects. I don't know if you call them objects in Java, but like you can pull a method and like have it with variables that you can use to decide like how you're going to use it, and keep the actual test scripting itself pretty concise. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty standard. I would say that's probably a good approach.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, I'm still this whole Java thing. Every time I look at it, it makes me want to puke. So.
You know what? I feel the same way about Python, so I understand.
Yeah. I get along with Python better, but it's obviously a high level, a little simpler language.
Yeah, I mean it's different methodologies. They have their pros and cons for sure.
Right.
I just on principle, I hate any language that uses white space as something meaningful.
See, that's why I love YAML. My favorite markup.
I will say that YAML is better than JSON.
All right. At least we can agree on that.
Yeah.
JSON to me is like, yeah, it's better than XML, but like, how much better?
Yeah. The lack of comments is kind of a killer.
Yeah.
For the most part, I've just completely stopped using configuration languages. Like, I just use code files as configuration.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was very interested in hearing that, because most of what I've learned has come out of like the DevOps kind of side of things, where they're using like Kubernetes and stuff, and that's all through either JSON or YAML configurations. But this is like a whole different world. So I mean, I guess it would make sense. What about like graphic settings and things like that? You would have that variable code?
Stuff like that. Like that's totally fine for configuration. I mean, like the decomp does use like a standard configuration file, which I'm not going to open because I have some super secret stuff in there right now. But for anything complicated, like a lot of times, it's very, very useful to be able to include logic in your configuration.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you might want to do like loops and things like that, or like pull in other files to split things up.
So you're telling me we need another markup language that has logic?
God, no.
I'll get started on that right away.
Yeah.
We're not going to use types. It's going to be basically Python, because I know you love it.
XKCD. Look, literally the very first thing is XKCD standards. This.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's so real.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I haven't seen XKCD in a long time. I forgot about that concept.
Oh, XKCD is great.
That was like when Dig was still around. I was on that all the time.
Yeah. My 2G says, please don't pull a 90s Sony. Yeah, that's the last thing we want to do. We're trying to go towards standard file types, not further away.
We need proprietary testing, proprietary file types, and we should probably just write a whole new language for this, actually.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll build hardware, our own console.
Oh my God.
And then port the game to that, and then write an emulator for it.
You just made me a little nauseous, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, let's forget the software we're gonna write, just firmware.
Yeah.
The whole game is just on like actual.
We're gonna translate the game to x86 assembly. and
I
it's
mean, I
gonna
don't see why
run.
we're.
It's gonna run without an operating system. It will be the operating system.
Yep, that sounds great. You can just make it a Linux distribution. We'll use the
Yeah,
kernel.
exactly. And
So
nothing
when
can
you
go
say
wrong.
this, I'm looking. So this is more me not knowing Java. When you have this, are you is that like in um, putting it so that is that a variable that can be accessed outside of the method?
I think in Python itself,
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that makes sense. I was
yeah, so
looking at
that
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 thinking
refers
this.
to this object.
Okay, that's help. Yeah, I kind of thought that's what it was, but I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm naming these somewhat reasonably. Like I said, this particular part of the code is still a bit messy. Alright, well that'll do for now. We can rename those later as long as they are part of an enum. Um, state. Actually, gonna move this down at the bottom because consistency. Ah, yes, all of the ridiculous responses that I added for the Davos game. So, fun fact: all of the code for the Davos minigame is in the North American version. It's just not accessible, and they removed the text for it, so the menus are just completely blank.
That's awfully convenient.
Yeah. So that made it a lot easier to recreate. And I just had one of the people in the Discord server who speaks Japanese give a rough translation, and we took a lot of liberties with it, as you might be able to tell from the strings lists down here.
Abe's isn't angry. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Dark gives an uncomfortable hug. Oh, that's awesome. I say you keep it. In
Oh
fact,
yeah.
we should retranslate the whole game, relocalize it, but just shittier.
I don't think you can get much shittier than the official translation.
I don't know. I feel like if you were to make it a challenge, I've seen worse. I'm trying to think of another game that had worse.
All your base are belong to us.
There you go. Yeah, that. The crazy thing is, when I was a kid, I had no idea that it was bad translation. Like
Yeah,
going back
right.
and reading it later, I was like,
Me
oh, that is
either.
a little rough.
Yeah, you read it as an adult and you're just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, this wasn't the deep enthralling story that I thought it was.
Yeah.
The overall thing, I'm still very much a fan of.
Yeah, no, it is good, but you definitely get taken out of the immersion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is a bit unfortunate. But there are a couple of existing retranslation mods, and yeah, we're definitely going to support translations in Sever Change.
I just saw my 2G says we have to mine the minerals from the ground before we can build the hardware, and I agree.
Oh, damn, you're right. All right. Well, this is going to take another few years.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move back the what do they call that when the game launches like shit and then they have a roadmap? Yeah, we
Oh
have a
yeah,
roadmap.
yeah, a soft relaunch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, No Man's Sky it.
Yeah,
5 years later, greatest game ever made.
Sever Chains 2.0.
Oh, that's great. Or just do what Python does and just keep changing the number after the decimal.
Yeah. Just keep changing it forever.
I don't see as much as like back in the day. It seemed like version numbers were so critical, like Firefox 2.0 and all that. But it seems like with the frequency of updates nowadays, there's not really numbering so much anymore. Is that am I just seeing that wrong or?
No, the philosophy of releases have really changed a lot. You know, even 10 years ago, like, digital releases weren't nearly so much of a thing. So you basically like went out and bought new versions of something. So of course,
Right.
like a new release was a much bigger thing. Now it's all like live service bullshit and patch
Yeah,
after patch
FAS.
for releases that were released completely broken.
Yeah, was it EA that did games as a service, kind of like software as a service?
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, EA is notorious for, well, I mean, releasing basically unplayable games and patching them months or years down the road into something actually playable.
I seem to remember it was a competition between EA and Ubisoft for who could be the worst company
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah, Ubisoft is another pretty awful offender for that. And with record layoffs in the past couple of months, I don't foresee any of that getting better in the gaming industry.
Well, one thing that shows a positive is the whole AAA release thing has gotten a bit bloated, and it's just they have to go bigger and bigger every year. The budget gets crazy, and then they can't really take any risks. And some of the best experiences you can find in gaming that are not the same version of last year's game modified slightly is releasing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gaming has definitely gotten very formulaic. And I mean it is literally just releasing the same game every year, and that's like literal, not even figurative. It's like
Right.
with all of the like remakes and stuff that are coming out of games, and just like slapping a new skin on top of them and charging almost full price for them.
Well, that's why this kind of project with Decomp is so cool to have an open source, kind of like doing it for the love of it and a community that can come together on it. That's exciting to me. I think that's going to be more what we see. Because I didn't even know about this type of thing until I saw this project, and now all the ones we see in Discord for all the other classic games that are coming out with decomps.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. What first got me onto it was the Ocarina of Time decomp project. That was when I first started kind of thinking about this.
Yeah, see, I haven't even heard of that, but I'm sure that's got a following.
Yep, that's actually released and playable. It's called Ship of Harkinian.
Yeah, I just never played that back in the day. This is the game that I played by default. That's why I was drawn to this project.
Yeah, I played I played quite a bit of Ocarina of Time, and in fact I still play it. My brother and I do like co-op randomizers every probably about once a month. The modding scene for Ocarina of Time is pretty intense. Like you can play co-op and everything. Like have multiple people playing in the same world, or
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
crazy, actually.
yeah. What we usually do is called multi-world. Um, so it's like a co-op game where both of us are playing in our own worlds, and it's a randomizer. But some of each player's items are in the other player's world. So
Oh,
like
okay.
I could find an item for him, and he could find an item for me.
Oh, and then can you like trade the items
It
like
sends it
piano,
over.
or?
It sends it over immediately.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking a look at chat. We're calling it reloaded instead of the release builds.
Yeah. That's gonna be it.
I think that we really just need to make this as ridiculous as possible with the advertising and just cover the screen with buzzwords.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to Drew about that.
Yeah, he needs to get on that. We need just unbearable. You know, just as soon as you see it, should be sensory overload, and because they gotta know. You know, they gotta know that this is where it's at.
Yeah, like a '90s personal homepage.
Oh yes, like what was that? GeoCities
Yes, GeoCities.
under construction. All right, I'm gonna code that up tonight.
Yeah,
It should take us
we
20 minutes of HTML.
we need the under construction, and use as many blink and marquee tags as possible.
Oh, and HTML frames too. They can
Yeah,
be div tags.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
let's just crash our browsers.
Did divs even exist then?
I don't think so. I don't even. I would be surprised if Chrome would render a frame tag. Like I'm tempted to pull up the dev screen in Chrome and try it, but
The load game screen does not actually have a state. Okay, that is easy then. Whatever, I'll just leave it at that. Alright,
find a
we're
way
gonna
to
leave it
show.
generic.
Can you pop out YouTube? No. Oh, you can. Yeah, you can pop out chat. There we go. See, this is stuff that Gen Z probably does with their eyes closed. But the idea of live streaming chats is like, I can't see so well anymore.
Yeah, I had never done any well, I did a bit of like game streaming, mostly just like Halo and Phasmophobia, but I had never done like I don't think I'd ever actually even like gone on mic at all unless I was just like, you know, playing with someone else. So this was a lot of getting used to when I first started the dev streams.
Right, right. Yeah, this is all new to me too. I've never streamed. I don't even watch a lot of streamers, but
I watch a couple of streamers, but it's all like I very rarely watch streams live.
oh, you watch the VODs?
Yeah, exactly.
I find every time I get a Twitch notification that a streamer that I follow is live, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I wonder what, I mean, how many people have the time to watch, 12 hours of streaming a day?
Yeah,
Because it seems like that's
exactly.
what's happening.
And most of what I watch is just Ocarina of Time randomizers, to be honest with you.
I'm more likely to watch a speed run of a game I'll never play.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of speedruns too. Mostly Halo.
Oh yeah, but the Halo 2 Legendary speedrun,
Yes,
the most difficult thing ever.
my brother and I actually hold a Halo 2 Legendary record for a very esoteric category.
That's the key to speedrunning. It's find a category that two people have done, and then
Yeah,
get the record in it.
exactly. Automatic bronze trophy.
Hey, bronze is bronze.
Exactly. We did manage to get the entire... We managed to beat Halo 2 and on Legendary in under 3 hours for the achievement, which is probably the hardest thing that we have ever done.
So if you had just said, I managed to beat Halo 2 on Legendary, at the end of the sentence, I would have still been impressed.
Oh, we did Lazo too. All skulls on.
Oh my god.
Gotta get them achievements.
Okay, so we got MyTG talking about LOD speedruns. That's not a bad idea. I wonder if we could, because that could just, somebody could write a mod for that, built in. I don't know if you would have a built-in timer or...
Yeah, I mean, there are several people in the Discord server that do speedruns, and at some point I would be interested in seeing one of them try and run on ST.
Yeah, that would be...
Obviously, it wouldn't go on any leaderboards or anything, obviously, but...
well, it would be its own esoteric category.
Yeah, exactly.
Crashes and all. That's just part of the RNG.
Yeah. Crash randomizer.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Every frame, there's a 0.0001% chance of the game crashing.
Every frame. Oh, my God. And then everyone's running it on 10 frames per second.
Yeah, yeah.
This is just limit the CPU access it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might... Okay, subscriber only mode on YouTube. That's just like that's not like Twitch where you pay it monthly, right?
No, that's just to kind of try and gently push people towards subscribing to the YouTube channel.
It probably keeps a lot of spam out too.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, we only got 3 screens left, which is good. Okay. Message box has its own state variable. Did I document what those states are? I sure didn't.
This is like variable name roulette.
Yeah. Okay. Public enum state. So it looks like there's states from 0 to 6, but what do those states mean?
Everyone's leaving to get dinner and no one's bringing me dinner.
Ah, rude. I could
I'll
use
even
some
take
too.
burnt. My boss is staying in the hotel right across from me, and she messaged me asking if I want a pizza. I said, "Do I want pizza? Yes." Am I eating pizza right now?
obviously.
No.
Is that even a question?
Right. So I'm miserable for the next few months with my calorie deficit. But come
Oh.
June, I'm gonna eat a whole pizza and probably throw up.
You sound like the cats. They do what we have affectionately termed the scarf and barf.
Oh, I think your cat's has an eating disorder.
You would think that.
Yeah, my boss's little dog that she's got is the same way. He'll just eat until he pukes if you let him.
Okay, how many times can I type the wrong thing here? 3, apparently.
Hello, Drew.
Hello.
How's it going?
Busy.
Yep.
Glad to be sitting down again.
Aren't we all?
What have you been wizarding?
I am working on improving the support for the test harness for Baldur.
You know, we should just like live stream the test running, just so people can see our tools in action.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
we actually have that
definitely
queued up.
You both spoke at once.
We'll be showing that pretty soon once I finish this.
And then we'll just on the sidebar say, "This is just to showcase the abilities. It is not for your entertainment." If you're bored, that is the point.
Yep.
That's kind of hard.
But it's
Yeah, this will be my first code on live stream to run, so it will inevitably crash and probably grenade your computer.
I think there's a rule. Something can't be good until it's bad first.
Well, I promise you this harness was, and it still is, by the way, bad first.
That's how it's supposed to start out. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just glad that we have the extra help.
Yeah, I was just telling Monoxide that I've been out of North Carolina since like a week and a half ago, I guess, and I've been working in these 14. We got a new startup building, and I'm training everyone on everything at the same time, so I'm not thinking much. But I'll be back in town.
Everything all at once.
Can you secretly?
Go ahead.
Can you secretly train them without them knowing that they'd be helping the LD community? Like just instruct them to build some anonymous tools, and as part of their training,
Yeah.
but then you secretly are like taking the code and injecting it into our needs.
I thought about doing that for AI model training, just giving them random tasks. But yeah, I've actually been secretly training them to be about 70% as good as my home location, because we have to still be number one.
Okay.
That's fair.
It's like, yeah, so I know you probably aren't used to using IntelliJ because most of your stuff is in your stuff. You're gonna actually learn a little Java today. I don't know. I can barely teach these guys to use a computer. Like, there's no way.
It's like if it's already built, I can tell you how to turn it on.
Yeah. Well, and then I'll explain something. I was talking to one of the IT guys, and the manager heard me talking about something. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." And I'm like, "Dude, you have no idea. I guarantee you have no idea." If I'm just going along with it, I'm like, "Yeah, sure, you know what that is. You know what a method is."
Call him out later.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, so that thing you were talking about, I actually need some help. Can you give me some advice?
Exactly. But I just wanted to stop in and see if Corey was certain or not that you would not need me for the remainder of your stream.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to show off the new super secret feature.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I forgot it was in the secret channel. I almost blurted it out if I had just chosen some different words.
Don't do it.
Oh, I'm so lucky right now. I am so incredibly lucky. You have no idea.
Well, it's better to be lucky than good.
Oh, if you're Deadpool or Domino. All right. I might still hang around. I'll see if I decide to eat alone tonight or not. So just
Alright.
music for now.
Well, if you're here, you're not technically eating alone.
Never mind. Is tonight music then?
Sorry, what, Drew?
Is tonight music for the thing?
I showed off the music progress earlier, but since Alipri won't be around, I'm probably not going to do any more music stuff on stream for the time being.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know that removing bagpipes is not a feature. It's a removal of a feature.
I know, that's what the chat said too.
There's going to be some petitions. It's going to get as many SIGs as the regular petition, I'm sure.
Alright, well, I'll make a mod that replaces every single sound in the game with bagpipes. And
You know,
we'll see how you feel.
I'm digging myself a hole here because the fandom is large enough that, statistically speaking, someone's going to take it seriously and actually do like a bagpipe remix. And it's going to sound good, and we're going to hurt, but we're going to like it too.
That's my white noise machine.
And it's going to be Celeste, because that's where it happened. Wait, you said white noise.
Yeah, I'll use it to fall asleep too.
Is this like relaxing music to sleep to? There's so many of those ambient videos on YouTube now, but it's actually bagpipes.
Yeah, or I'm just gonna go through and just upload all of them again with bagpipes on top.
I can do that right now with the ambient track from Helena Prison, where everyone's getting whipped and is screaming.
You imagine the clash in tone.
Look, if you can genuinely enjoy horror movies with like gore and all that, and I totally validate people who are into horror that much, then you can also validate like non-peace for sleeping.
I am 100% on board with that.
I mean, I myself, I don't consider it near that level, but I listen to Jurassic Park 3-hour mix of rain sound effects. So it's mostly rain and thundery, but there's also occasional, like, the person who made it put in all these little things, like at the beginning when the rain first kicks up, it has Samuel L. Jackson's character saying, "Hold on to your butts." And just interspersed throughout the entire 3 hours, like it was meticulously designed throughout the entire 3 hours, there's various little, like, dinosaur sounds or, like, the T-Rex footsteps. It sounds, they probably just ripped the sound, but it sounds perfectly immersive, like I'm really there. And someone else made another one called The High Hide, which is from Jurassic Park 2, and I've listened to that. And I wouldn't consider, you know, being around dinosaurs something to fall asleep to, because your life would be in danger, of course.
Yeah, I want the poison spitting one next to me. That's what I like to hear.
Where the fans spread out on the side of the head and it goes blah.
Yeah. I want to just be in terror in all moments of sub-sleep. You know. I'm sure there's some sort of.
Yeah. Just like laying there in abject terror.
On your ceiling as a poster of Pinhead or something.
Oh God! You know, I just watched the new Hellraiser, and that was disturbing because I'd never seen Hellraiser. I didn't realize that's what they were all about.
Oh, surprise!
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
All right, that's working. Do
we need like an Anakin Skywalker "It's working" GIF for you every time you get something working?
We do now.
Does YouTube chat have like Twitch, like how Twitch does with the? I don't know what you. I'm so not up to today's whatever it is that the kids are doing these days. But
give us a hint.
Yeah, I see the Twitch chat with like all the faces.
The emojis, the emotes.
Yeah, there we go, emotes. Oh God, I sound so old right now.
I don't know if YouTube does that yet.
You mean emoticons?
Oh, emoticons. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, I'm 30, okay?
That's the better name, the old emoticons.
Yeah, no, that's...
Actually, I'm 31.
That's the... Actually, I'm also 31, so...
Well, I don't feel so bad. One of those, the user inputs is solid, and the test harness is good. The other one is like just complete garbage. It's not. That's just. I don't know why I get that one into the pull request, but I would completely ignore that one.
Okay.
We could, even though YouTube doesn't have it yet, we could make it a command potentially. I know someone else who does a live stream, and when people do like exclamation point, exclamation point, whatever the letters are, the shorthand code that they specify, exclamation point darts, then a bunch of dart faces can just show up on the stream overlay. Whether it's
cool.
over the entire screen or just in a little box on the side if you want.
Is that a chatbot?
It's some kind of effects manager thing. I don't know how it works. They use it on their Twitch stream.
Oh, okay. I wonder if it's like OBS plugin.
But I assume it's equipped enough that you can decide whether it all just expands outward. The size of the emotes, how many of them are replicated every time you hit the command, stuff like that.
Balder, what reason did you make this change here?
I don't think I did. What is it? It's showing. Okay, under files, I put a exclude. Did that put a getnor in there?
Seems like it.
Because I know you mentioned doing that so that it doesn't try to index that folder. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I wouldn't have typed that in there, so that must be me not knowing how to use IntelliJ.
Because it's ignoring the get ignore, but then not ignoring the get ignore on the next line.
Oh God! All right.
Anyway, I'm just gonna revert that.
Yeah. I don't know how. I'll have to go through and fix that. I don't know what happened there.
Okay. So what files did you add here? Test harness. Hello, IntelliJ.
I think we lost Drew.
Just gonna reformat this. And we have user inputs.
Yeah, I had a feeling I had some extra stuff in there I didn't need.
Yeah, it's all good. Alright, we are going to fire up the test harness for the first time on stream. So, I am not going to press any buttons here at all. And it will hopefully do the button pressing for me. Yep, it is doing this all on its own. And, is that the end of it? I think that's the end of it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So yeah, there we have it. That is the very basis for the test harness.
Disconnect counter for next stream.
Sorry, what was that?
My DG wrote to build a disconnect counter for the next stream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did we get another disconnect?
Let me check. No, it still looks like you're. Let me refresh and see what happens. No, it's still working. It looks like.
Okay. Well, maybe it disconnected earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see in here, this is all just very basic. Yeah, so I just put this whole and the thing in the actual main harness was just a proof of concept to see if it was working, you know,
Yeah.
to be able to use the different buttons, but it doesn't access anything from the game. It's just all based on timing right now. It was just a very basic proof, you know.
Yeah, so now you should be able to do something like sitem dot what is it, menu stack dot get top um, menu screen, I think. Yeah.
So when you put the final in front of the string, that makes it immutable. Is that
Yep.
okay? So I thought.
Um, so yeah, you could do something like if screen instance of item list screen, and then you would have item list dot get state, which is like, you know, state dot init item list and unload. So init means it's initializing, unload means that it is in the process of unloading, and item list means that it is on the item list.
Okay.
And certain interfaces that have more than those, more than just like one main state will have more, of course. Like the character swap screen, for example, has like one state for like selecting a character on the left side from the main party, and then a second state for selecting a secondary character to replace with.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can give you permission to work on this branch directly. Please hold. Just gonna go ahead and do that off screen.
Right. Right. Yeah. So the basic we're just using. I think Java has built in the robot stuff, the library, and it just I don't know if it emulates or what it does, but it basically presses the keys. And I think it has support for mouse, which is what we're going to have to look into with the new menus you have that are mouse only.
Yeah, for sure. Robot mouse move, yeah. Yeah, it can even get the pixel color under the mouse, which is good.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
That could be useful. Oh, look, you've got robot.delay as well for sleeping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was just using the thread sleep. Okay. Interesting. I'll look into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so we'll want to try, as a general philosophy, we're going to want to make these tests as fast as possible.
Mm.
Because, you know, the less CPU time we need to waste just kind of sitting around waiting, the better.
Right.
Especially if we're going to be running these on the GitHub Actions, because we have like an allotted cost that we are allowed to spend.
Right. Right. So I'm wondering, with that main harness right now, we have pretty long delays because I just had to kind of eyeball it, you know. But if we're using the actual game's feedback, we can do it like the second it
Yeah.
switches state.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
would
you'll
that
be
be in
able
a
to
loop?
kind of like yeah, like loop and kind of pull on the states and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, so interesting. Chi brings up not going too fast. From what I can tell from my testing, 100 milliseconds is the shortest duration you can input a button, and the game will actually register it. But I think that's going to change once we get more out of the memulation. Is that what you told me before?
Yes.
Okay.
So right now it's still mostly using the game's original polling code. So the fastest it can read input is once every, well, it would be once every frame. So depending on what part of the game you're in, that is different. In parts of the game it's 30, parts it's 20, and during effects, some effects use 15 frames per second, but there's no inputs during those anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So it'd be anywhere from 33 milliseconds to 50 milliseconds. My 2G asks if over 268% multiplier will be possible. It will once I do some black magic there. There's some issues with that. So we discovered that the game uses a script engine, and actually most of the game runs on that script engine. That includes the button mashing for spells, for item magic rather. And the issue is the script is actually reading the input directly. So that puts us into a very unfortunate position where I can't use a proper input callback to actually trigger that the increase in the damage. The reason being is because it's being driven by that script. And the scripts are only set up to be able to pull the input. So I don't really know what we're going to do there. We might have to just kind of... I don't know if we're going to actually like bite the bullet and just like completely rewrite that script and translate it into like real code, or if we'll have to do something like add interrupts to the script engine. To be honest, both of those are kind of nightmares for very different reasons, but nonetheless, it will be a nightmare to do. Adding interrupts to the scripts it introduces a lot of potential concurrency issues, and I mean it's a completely new concept for the script engine. But also, rewriting a script as code has its own issues. Like what if a modder edits that script? It just won't have any effect. It would probably be somewhat easier to do it that way, but I don't know. We're going to have to see. Something does have to be done with the script engine, either way, because it is also severely limiting the modding capabilities. I actually have a branch that is like 95% of the way set up to be able to add custom items, and the custom items actually work in the inventory menu just fine. We showed that off in one of the Friday streams probably about a month ago. But they don't work in combat, because combat, the use item code is all run via script, and it's very, very limited on what it can do. So I don't know. It's a tough choice, and I mean we have made major progress on making the script engine a lot easier to use. Like I completely rewrote the script engine basically from the ground up to be debuggable and much easier to reverse engineer. So we'll see. Zychronix and I at some point are going to actually start writing some live debugging tools for the scripts that are much more robust than the current script debugger, which kind of just shows information that doesn't really tell you much, but I mean, it's the only real easy to access information. That's this right here. So I mean, you know, most of this technical information, it can be useful for kind of almost getting an idea of what's going on, but only at the highest level. You can't actually see like what code is running. So we're going to actually write like a full live debugger that is more similar to kind of like what no cache has. That is not the executable at all. Something more like this, where you can actually get like a breakdown of the assembly code, which I mean isn't real assembly, but it's script ops, as well as like a memory view. So that'll make a big difference. Yeah, it's 100% treasure chest. Anyway, that was a tangent.
Yeah, so it looks like did you mention this branch? Is that working now?
I did not do anything. I moved it on my other monitor and then started talking for 20 minutes.
Oh, true. That's exactly what I do. But yeah, so I'll be back in town. I'll touch base with you. If you need to do some audio testing tomorrow, hit me up. And when I get back in town, I'll start working on getting some actual, like, real scripting for this harness. It's not just, you know, whatever you call this.
Yeah. I think we are in pretty good shape here, though. Like, this is a very good foundation. Using this, you'll definitely at least be able to start writing menu tests.
Right, definitely.
We will need to figure something out for you reading information about like where you are and what you're doing, like actually in game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like coordinates or something.
Yeah,
like
that'll be a bit more in depth.
I wonder if that would tie into that debugger that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, we do have a submap debugger as well, which I'll pull up here.
That's the, I think you might have shown me that. Is that the one where you can, like, warp or something?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
there's a couple of debuggers here. So the main debugger does have this warp here. Why did you just crash? S key has been pressed. Oh, it's.
Are you on the harness?
Yeah, the harness is still trying to do stuff. Okay, disregard that. That's fine.
I think that still counts. I think my code crashed.
Yeah, it's fine. It didn't take the game with it.
Oh, that's good. It crashed gracefully then.
Yeah. So yeah, we do have this. You technically can actually get the player position from this.
Oh, okay.
The player will always be submap object 0, but I mean, you know, you're definitely going to want to read that programmatically, not through like opening this and reading the text boxes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So let's open it in a browser and use Selenium.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started with Selenium. We used to use that for our automated tests at work, and it was a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah.
We just run WebDriver directly now.
All of my testing in Django, I just did unit tests. I'm not going to screw around with that.
We're at the point with our automated tests at work that we use a I think it's a 32-core Xeon Gold to run the
Jeez.
tests, and we're running like 40 to 50 test threads at the same time.
I was going
And
to say, those are going in parallel, I bet.
yeah, Selenium was just like absolutely shitting itself.
Yeah, imagine trying to emulate 50 browser sessions
Yeah,
with Chrome's excellent memory usage.
yeah, it was a nightmare. It was awful. But running
Yeah.
WebDriver directly worked great.
Yeah, well, I just couldn't. I just don't see how. It seems like most things I could do on the back end. I don't see why you need to get into the browser. But maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah, well, the stuff that we do at work, it's mostly like full system integration testing.
Okay. Yeah.
So it actually, it's using it's using our product like as an end user would.
Right. Right.
And then we do have unit tests as well, which kind of test like individual units.
Well,
And
it may just be I'm spoiled with Django because I can simulate logins on the back end with
yeah,
the unit test, stuff
yeah,
like that.
we do like force cookies to like log users in, which speeds things up a lot, especially
Do
for
sessions.
small tests.
Right. Right.
So yeah, but yeah, we do both, because I mean, unit tests will get you halfway there and ensure that the individual units of code work, but
Right.
they
It is
don't ensure that they work together.
yeah. Yeah.
They don't make sure that the product works.
I guess that is pretty important.
Yeah. And I think that would be a very good approach for us to take with the decomp as well, having a mix between, very fast unit tests that can test a lot of different things very quickly,
Right.
but then also having this bot doing actual integration testing.
Yeah, so with the, I just been thinking about that, and I think with this harness, we're fine to use JUnit. So we switched it back, and well, I just unmodified it basically. But
Okay.
I definitely want unit tests 100%. I just put the harness in front because it seemed like that was the priority based on where the code was,
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, we're definitely gonna have unit tests
Yeah.
before this is over.
Yeah, and I'll definitely contribute to the unit tests because they can get a
And
lot more technical than like a test harness actually playing the game.
yeah, well, and I'm gonna have to get
it's pretty obvious like what a bot needs to do.
right.
Like clicking on inputs and stuff, but some of the back end code gets quite complicated.
And we'll have to attack it from more than one direction per
Yeah,
unit.
exactly.
Sure. All right. Well, I guess we have one crash count, although I don't know that I fully agree with it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I think with that, I am going to call it a little early this time. We're only about an hour and a half in, but I had a pretty long day, and I mean we did get some good stuff down this stream.
Oh yeah, same here. I gotta get to 4 a.m. So,
Oh yeah.
which is I'm only an hour behind you now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're well, I was gonna say vacationing on the East Coast, but you are not vacationing.
Well, I went to Myrtle Beach over the weekend and I got really drunk, so I guess that probably counts as vacation.
Yeah, it counts as something.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call it something.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. I appreciate you. It's kind of worked out that we were able to look at the harness again, and yeah, I'll just be touching base with you on all that.
Yeah, for sure. Very special thanks to Vorthod and Vorthod and Justin Singleton for their 1 month subscription, almost 2, and Zach, who is at 2 months now. If anyone is interested in contributing financially to the project, there is a link for my Ko-fi account in the description of this video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Balder for co-hosting here. And hope everyone has a good night.